the How To series, brought to you by the Women's Business Center of North Alabama.
This is Nona Carson with Social K Communications. My company specializes in helping small businesses integrate social media into their existing marketing, advertising, and PR plans. In this installment in the How To series for the Women's Business Center of North Alabama, I will be talking about Facebook for small business. First of all, a couple of disclaimers before I get started. The first one is that I know I say the word "so" a lot. So, in the interest of full disclosure and in being totally authentic and transparent, which are a couple of words we're going to talk about in a few minutes as they relate to social media, I'm telling you this. So as you hear me say the word "so," you can chuckle to yourself and say, yes, she was right. The second disclaimer is this. There is a lot of information out there about Facebook. I only have 30 minutes, so I'm going to cover what I can. I will talk a little bit about actually setting up a Facebook page because I don't want to assume that you already have one. However, a lot of that information and specifics on how to set up the page can be found on the Facebook site itself. First of all, I'd like to give a little background on social media itself. Social media is not an island into itself. You don't quit your other marketing and advertising to do social media. Social media is a channel, it's a tool to be used that can be integrated with your other marketing and advertising. With traditional advertising or marketing, you're pushing messages out. We can look at that as outbound marketing. Tools and channels like radio, television, billboards, banner ads on the internet. These are all forms of outbound or push marketing. Whereas with social media, we're looking at inbound marketing. We're looking at pulling people in. Where do you go to look for information? If you're looking for information about a company, its services or products, do you ask your friends? Do you go online and use a search engine like Google or Bing to find the information? You want to be able to be found by the people that are looking for information about your company or business. They need to be able to find the information they need about products and services that they're interested in. So social media is a tool, a way for you to connect with those people and to give them the information that they want. If you look at the social media space, look at Web 2.0 and everything that is out there in terms of blogs, email, specific channels like LinkedIn, Facebook that we'll be talking about today, Twitter, for example. There's a lot going on. And hopefully you're looking at the chart now that shows you what happens in 60 seconds. And I want you to look at the bottom right-hand corner where I've highlighted the Facebook information. Every 60 seconds, 695,000 Facebook status updates are posted. That's every minute. So a lot goes on in a minute. And Facebook leads sharing among social sharing sites. If you look at email, Twitter, Yahoo bookmarks, and other bookmarking sites, Facebook leads sharing among those. Facebook now has more than 750 million users, and over 40% of small businesses have a Facebook page. That's a 52% increase over last year, which is huge. Another thing that's important to note about Facebook, because I know you may be thinking, oh, I don't need Facebook. Facebook is for kids. Well, actually, Facebook was started, as you probably know, as a way for college students to connect. And then, of course, the high schoolers came in, and it was kind of a site for that age group. But now, over 55% of Facebook users are over the age of 26. So it is not a tool just for youngsters anymore. If you look at social media sites or blogs that are critical to companies, and specifically a study that was done by HubSpot earlier this year, Facebook ranks second only to a company blog in terms of importance. So companies do think that Facebook is very important as a part of their marketing strategy. So now we're going to get into the specifics of Facebook, and I'm calling this the ABCs of Facebook. And again, to be totally authentic and transparent, I found this great chalkboard background in my templates, and I thought, well, if I'm using a chalkboard, I'm going to call it the ABCs of Facebook. And it works really well because A, is to analyze and monitor. B is to build relationships. C is to remember that content is key. And then you repeat all of that. So first of all, what do you need to analyze? I know this may sound a little crazy, but you need to actually analyze your reason in the first place for having a Facebook page. You need to be where your customers are. So if your customers and potential customers are not on Facebook, then guess what? Maybe you need to have a LinkedIn page. Okay, maybe your focus needs to be there. Probably not. Facebook is permeating every type of business and organization, so you probably do need a Facebook page, but it's important to really analyze your reason for being there in the first place. You need to have a plan. What are your goals going to be for your Facebook page? With any marketing or advertising, you need a plan, and social media is no different. You need goals, and we'll talk about some specific goals in a minute. You need metrics. How are you going to measure your success? How are you going to know that it's working? If you don't have those in place, you won't be able to do that. You need to also analyze the market. You need to look at your industry. And what other companies in your industry are doing. And finally, you need to analyze your competition. Social media is a great tool to use for competitive research. So you need to look at what your competition's doing. The other word I'd like for you to think about along with analyze is listen. It's really the first step of any good social media plan is to listen. You know, my mother always told me that I should think before I speak. And so it's the same thing with social media. You really need to listen before you speak. So let's talk about some goals. Your goal may be to get found by people searching. We talked earlier about how people find information and how important it is for them to be able to find you and your business when they're searching online. You may want to connect and engage with your current customers. Don't think of social media as a tool just to get new customers. It's a great way to connect and to reinforce the relationships that you already have with your existing customers. Your goal may be to create a community. Your goal may be to promote other content. If you have a blog or if you have videos, let's say your business is a training company, you do business coaching and you have videos on YouTube, you may want to use Facebook to promote those videos, to promote other content. Or you may want to use Facebook simply to generate leads for your businesses. Moving on to the B, which stands for building relationships. This is what social media is all about. It's about building relationships. And the basis for any relationship, be it in the social space or personal, is authenticity, trust, and honesty. So think about those same characteristics when you're building your relationships online. You want to engage people. You want to engage them by sharing relevant, useful content. So going back to the step where we analyze and listen, if you don't know what your customer wants, if you don't know who they are, if you don't know what they need, then you can't give them the information that they're looking for. Content. I think content is so important. You can have all of the great social media channels set up, and if your content is not good, then it's not going to work. You're not going to be able to pull people in. You're not going to be able to engage them. Content needs to be interesting. It needs to be helpful, as I just said. You need to know who your customer is so you can provide them the content that they want and need. There are two types of content. Content that is created, and that's original content that you generate. It could be an article that you write. For example, if your business is a consulting business, let's say you're an accountant, you could write an article, the top 5 tips to preparing your tax return, say in April. Curated content is the other form of content. And curated content is content that you find from other sources and share. So think of a museum curator. A museum curator doesn't actually paint the paintings, but he collects the paintings and gathers them to show to other people. So with curated content, you're doing the same thing. You're gathering that content from other sources and you're sharing it with your community. So let's talk a little bit about setting up your Facebook page. I'm not going to assume that you all already have one, but I'll just spend a little bit of time on this because, as I said earlier, the resources are there on the Facebook site to help you do this. But you go to facebook.com, and as you can see on the slide, it's real easy. You just fill out the information, and at the bottom where you see the arrow, it says create a page. This is where you create a page for your business. Now, you do have to have a personal profile set up. Profiles are for people, and pages are for businesses. And I know there are still a lot of businesses who are using personal pages as their business page, but you really don't want to do this. Facebook doesn't really like it. And then the other thing is that business pages are so much more feature rich. They have a lot more tools for you to use, and it's really better to use those. So all pages, as I mentioned, have to be linked to a personal profile. This is what it will look like once you get your page set up. You'll scroll down, and where you see the arrow, use Facebook as page. When you click on that, it will go to your business page. And if you are an administrator for other pages, those pages will pop up as well. This is one of the benefits of having a business page, is that you can assign other administrators. And that's really helpful because your employees or business partners can help you administer your Facebook page so you don't have to do it all yourself. The other advantage of business pages is that they show up better in the search engines. And as we mentioned earlier, that's a key benefit to having a Facebook page, is showing up well in search. Also, they have categories, so you can choose your specific business category. That too is going to refine those searches and make them more relevant to people who are looking for businesses or products like yours. Also, with business pages, they have fans. With profile pages, as you know, you have to approve friends, and with business pages, anyone can be a fan. So you choose your classification, your name, your business category, upload an image for your profile. There's a button that shows you where to click to do that, and start editing your page. You can add photos, you can type in your information about your business, start posting on the wall, and start adding applications if you like. And I'll talk a little bit more about that. So here's an example of a Facebook business page. This is one of my clients, Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate, and of course he gave me permission to use this. So if any of you are looking for commercial space, you know who to call. If you look at the page, in the middle, the news feed, where you see the post about we're happy to welcome these people to the company. This is your wall or your news feed, and as you post comments, they're going to show up there. Other businesses or other business pages that you have liked, their posts are also going to show up there in that feed. If you look at the arrow to the left where it says info, this is what I was talking about just a minute ago. You click on that, and it's easy to fill in the information about your business. Now, it's going to ask you for a description about your business. There's a little section that says about, and that's just a short little sentence about what your business does. There's also a section in there for your business mission. So again, it goes back to the first step of analyze. You need to think about why you're here and what your goals are and what you want to say about your business. If you look at the top of the page where you see the buttons titled Home, Profile, and Account, this page, I have clicked on Profile, and the Edit Page button has come up. So in order for that to come up, the Edit Page button, you need to click on Profile. Then you click on Edit Page, and the left sidebar is going to change, and you'll see the following buttons where you can, for example, manage your permissions. This is where you can set your page to allow your fans to post on your wall, and you can specify if you want them to be able to post photos or video. You can limit it so that they can just post comments and not post photos or videos. You'll be able to get notifications of all of your fan activity, so when people post on your page or make a comment or they like you, you'll get a notification, so you'll be able to respond promptly. Also, so that you're publicly searchable, you want to make sure the top box you see, page visibility, you want to make sure that that is unchecked so that your page is visible to all the search engines. Now, just a few things about managing some of the elements on your page. And again, let me say that Facebook has a lot of useful tips on their site, and at the end of this I'm going to give you some resources, and really you can get a lot of information there about specifics on setting up your page. It's great if you just go in and play with it. Don't be intimidated, don't be afraid you're going to break something or mess up your page. Just go in and click on all the buttons and see where everything goes, and really that's the best way to learn, is just to do it yourself. If you go down to the featured button, this is going to help determine which of your likes are featured on your page. So the bottom left-hand column of your page, you'll see 5 likes. So these are other fan pages that you have liked. They show 5 at a time. If you don't specify which 5, they'll just rotate from all of your likes. If you have 100 that you've liked, then any 5 might appear at any given time. What I think is a good idea is to specify which ones show. And what we've done with Russ, as you can see, is specify certain pages to show. We chose the CCIM page because that's a professional accreditation, and it's important to show, I think, that type of accreditation in his industry because not everyone has that. He's a huge Alabama fan, so we showed the Nick Saban page, which, okay, I'm an Auburn fan, but I got over that. We also showed the Huntsville Chamber of Commerce page and the National Children's Advocacy Center because he's a supporter of that organization. So this is a good way to kind of tie in some cause marketing too. As far as your wall photos, those are the photos that appear at the top of your page, and if you have a personal Facebook page, you know what I'm talking about. And every time you post a photo on your wall, it shows up there. And they just show up in random order. Well, there's a way to control those, okay? So if you have photos that are showing up and you don't want them all to be seen and they may not be sized right or displaying correctly, you just go to the upper right-hand corner where you see the arrow here, and you click on, as you mouse over, the little X will show up. You click on the X and it will ask you if you want to hide that photo. You're not deleting the photo, but you're hiding it so that it doesn't show up on that top bar of wall photos. Okay, I created a fan page. Now what? Here comes the fun. Now you start building those relationships and building your community. You add social plugins, which this is the like button that you see. You add that to your website. You add that to any other sites you have. You add that on your signage. You add it to your emails. You add it on your business card if you like. You start promoting the fact that you have a business page. You can use your existing emails, your existing personal contents to promote as well. And you can connect with other fan pages. I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. And you can reward your fans. We'll talk about contests later. One important thing is that if you do a contest on Facebook, you have to abide by their guidelines. Here's the example of posting on other pages. So in Russ's example, he visited a business called Across the Pond, dropped off some information, and then we talked about that. He said, you know, I was there, saw your restaurant, look forward to eating there next time, something like that. But this is a great way to go to other businesses, other perhaps vendors that you do business with, post on their wall. It gets pushed out to their fans as well. And it's just a great way to connect and start building your community. And if you notice the fact we mentioned their restaurant, so that really put a little plug in for them, which is a good thing. Another one of the key tenets of social media is that you need to be generous. It's the do unto others as you would have them do unto you, okay? Zig Ziglar, who was a great sales trainer, or is, I guess he's still alive, he said, if you help enough people get what they need, then you're going to get what you need. So you really need to keep that in mind with social media. The other thing is that once you have 25 fans, you can claim a username. So you can claim a username so that your site will be facebook.com/your business. So it makes it real easy to promote your fan page with a URL. One thing is that to remember is that you cannot change that ever. So once you claim that name, be careful how you type it in. Once you claim that name, it is set in stone and Facebook will not let you change it. If you have an iPhone, which probably most of you do, I confess I do not yet, you can download an iPhone app that will let you claim your Places page. And Facebook Places is Facebook's answer to geolocation tools. So fans will be able to check in at your place of business, and again, it's an opportunity to reward them with, for example, special discounts, that type of thing. You can also do it at touch.facebook.com, do it online. You can also add applications, and the apps are easy to find on the Facebook site and do a variety of things. For example, there's an app, and the one you see here at the bottom of the page, Tweets to Pages. You can actually add, if you're on Twitter, have a Twitter account, you can add your tweets to your business page. You can add events, which if you're a retailer, it could be very important for you to be able to add sales events to push out to your fans. Another thing that you may have heard about are custom landing pages. Custom landing pages are pages that people get when they come to your Facebook business page who have not yet become fans. So if someone is not a fan of Russ Russell Commercial Real Estate yet, when they go to his page, they're going to get this landing page. And you see, again, you want to be authentic. And Russ has a quirky sense of humor, so we wanted to make his landing page a little bit humorous. So we've got the finger pointing up to the like button, as you see, saying, go ahead, you know what to do. But the purpose here is to be able to, hopefully, capture some information about those people that are coming to your page and becoming fans. As you see here, when they click the like button, they go to a page for an opt-in email registration. So this is a great way to be able to integrate Facebook with your email campaigns, to be able to collect email addresses, and there are many many programs like MailChimp is the one that I use, and I believe Constant Contact also integrates well with social media. Back to content. Again, content is so important. Let's talk about specific content for your business page. You may want to look at a conversational calendar. And what this is just a calendar that you do, and I have a resource at the end of the presentation for an online calendar site if you would like to use something like that. But it's just a way of planning the conversations that you're going to have with your fans. You may want to make it seasonal. You may want to talk about certain things. For example, if your company is a skincare company and it's summer, you may want to talk about products that help protect your skin from the sun. Just to outline that conversational calendar by the week and know exactly what you're going to talk about. And that again can be based on your goals for your Facebook page. Brainstorm ideas with your fans. You can ask your fans what they would like to see, what information they would like to have, and they'll tell you. Again, the curated content. It's perfectly fine to share other people's content. Of course, you want to give credit where credit is due. Here's the thing, when you share content from other sources, it benefits your fans because you're giving them useful information, but it also benefits the person whose content you're sharing, okay, because it's getting their content out too. And again, social media by nature is a very generous type of thing, so it's good to share other people's content. It's good to mention people in your post. If you mention someone in a post, you type the @ symbol and start typing their name, then it's going to automatically publish that post to their news feed, which is great. That's just more exposure for you. Some specific tools for engagement, and again, we're talking about the word engagement, which is another one of those social media buzzwords, but if something is engaging, what does that mean? It really holds your attention. It really pulls you in, and again, that's the inbound marketing and really what we want to accomplish with social media. So here are some specific tools. You can post video content. The search engines love video. Video is very important for getting your site or your page ranked higher in the search engines. You can solicit comments and stories from your fans. It's helpful if you wait until you have a fair number of fans, say at least 100, maybe even 200, before you start, say, hosting a weekly Q&A session. You want to make sure you have enough participation, but you can certainly solicit stories and comments from your fans. You want to make sure that your wall is open to fan posts. We talked earlier about how to manage your settings, how you can actually keep fans from posting photos or video if you'd rather them not do that, but you do want to have your wall open to fan comments and posts. You can solicit photo submissions if you don't want them posting the photos themselves, and really that's probably okay because you can always go in and delete them if you want to. But you can also have them perhaps email them to you and then you can post them. You can post surveys, polls, quizzes for fun, and again, it's a good idea to make sure you have enough of a fan base built up before you start doing this type of thing so that you have enough activity there. You can promote contests. Earlier I mentioned that if you do a contest on Facebook, you want to make sure you abide by their guidelines. This is because if you don't follow the Facebook rules, if you violate their contest guidelines, they can actually shut you down. They can pull your page, and you don't want that to happen. So it's easy to find the guidelines, and I have the place you do that in the resources at the end here. But really, facebook.com/ you can go to /guidelines and they pull up. But you can go to help on the Facebook page and find all of this information. You can also post surveys and quizzes for research, okay? Not just for fun and not just to reward your customers, but it's also a great way to do research for your business. Here's a question that comes up a fair amount. What do I do if someone posts a negative comment on my page? We all want to be liked. We don't want anyone to say anything negative about us or our business, but it happens from time to time. And I would say, look at this as an opportunity, okay? Look at this as an opportunity to make some lemonade out of a lemon. You want to respond, first of all. You don't want to ignore a negative comment. You want to respond quickly, and you want to respond honestly. Again, it's that authenticity and transparency. So you want to respond honestly to that comment. If you have a restaurant and someone comes to your restaurant and they have a bad experience, when you respond to them, you say, "I'm so sorry that your visit the other night was not a good one. What can we do to make it better?" Okay? You engage them. And a lot of times, people who complain or who post a negative comment can be turned around and they can become one of your most loyal customers. Then, of course, sometimes there are people who post negative comments just to post negative comments. You just delete them. Now we're going to repeat. If you remember, we went through the ABCs, and then the last step was to repeat. So we're going back to the A, which was to analyze. So now what are we going to analyze? Well, we're going to look at what is called Insights. It's the Insights dashboard. It's easy to find on your page. Again, if you go to the top right-hand bar and click on Profile and Edit Page, on the left, you'll see this menu. So you click on Insights and you'll be able to get a lot of really useful information about who is using your page, who's coming to your page, and what they're doing, how many new likes you have, how many total likes you have, how many monthly active users you have, and this will help you as you determine what kind of content you're posting. It can even help you determine when the best time is to post, and that's a question that comes up a lot as well. Some people believe in what is called contra scheduling. In other words, scheduling updates at times when other people aren't doing updates. I think Saturdays are pretty well known to be a good day. So when you're doing social media, don't plan on taking the weekends off. It may not take much time, just 10 or 15 minutes, but I think it's really good to post on the weekends and on Saturday in particular. You can also pull demographic information. And how great is this? You can see exactly what percentage of your fans are male and female. This is great demographic information for you to have for your business. So again, what we're looking at doing, and let's say the A that stands for analyze can also stand for authenticity. You want to be honest, you want to be open, you want your business page to be a true reflection of you and of your business mission. You want to be able to engage your customers, your existing customers, as well as potential customers in order to build what? To build loyalty. You want them to be loyal fans. That in turn turns them into what we call brand ambassadors. So these people are going to be spreading your message. With social media, what you're doing is giving them the tools. Think about it, the videos that you post, the photos that you post, the articles, the information you share. You're giving them the tools to be brand ambassadors for your business, to spread the word about your business with their friends, their fans. Here is the list of resources, and if you notice up top, facebook.com/business. This is Facebook for Business, which just launched actually a couple of weeks ago. And what Facebook did was just integrate everything into one. They've consolidated all of the information about business pages in one spot. So it's a great resource. You can read through that and find a lot of information about how to set up your page and how to best optimize it. And you can go through the list, the applications, promotions, facebook.com/help. Type in what you're looking for. You can find it there. Tabsite.com is a resource for landing pages. We talked earlier about landing pages, and you may want to enlist the help of a developer. It can be done really inexpensively, but Tabsite is a resource, a free resource, or they have versions that are paid that are very inexpensive for setting up your own landing page. HubSpot. HubSpot.com is a great resource for inbound marketing information, and that's where a lot of this information came today. Mashable.com, a great resource for social media. If you're interested in learning more about social media in general, I suggest you go to Mashable.com. And then the calendar, the digital calendar that I talked about in terms of scheduling your conversational calendar, that's found at Calendars That Work. So the bottom line is to be yourself. I love this quote, and of course, dogs and children, everybody loves them. This is Roscoe. But be yourself because everybody else is already taken. So I'm being myself. When I show you this closing slide, I had to handwrite my information because guess what? I don't have business cards yet. So I'm being authentic, I'm being transparent in sharing that. I hope you have success with Facebook, and I appreciate your time. This is Nona Carson with Social K Communications, and this has been Facebook for Small Business, an installment in the How-To series for the Women's Business Center of North Alabama.
The Women's Business Center of North Alabama, WBCNA, is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to help women and men start and grow a business and generate economic growth for the region. This is accomplished by serving as the premier source for information and access to resources, facilitating their self-discovery and personal development, and providing a mentoring process to support, nurture, and advocate the development of their business. WBCNA's services include startup assistance and nurturing, access to reduced rate services, access to financing, networking and business matchmaking opportunities, referrals to other resources, counseling and formal mentoring, executive level coaching, and business advisory boards. Specialized services of the WBCNA include the Government Procurement Assistance Center and the Veterans Business Assistance Center. For more information about WBCNA, please visit our website, wbcna.org. Get personal, create success.